What's up everybody, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be going over my blue Croc deck list that I used to take my first place at Tabletop Tavern. Shout out to them. We're also going to be using footage from their stream, so thank you so much for allowing me to do so. Let's get right into the deck profile. So something that might be a little different right off the bat that you guys are seeing is the 7-drop Croc. Very good card, especially in the yellow matchup. It doesn't allow them to get their triggers off because he has Banish. Very good card. I know I posted a deck list before, and I actually wasn't a fan of the Pacifista engine, but that was just because I didn't know how to use it to its full potential, and now that I do, I enjoy this way more. Being able to play a 4 cost from your deck for 3 is very strong, and I was really underutilizing it. So something about this game plan that I find really strong is once you swing with Pacifista, defending it is super easy. You know what I mean? If they start trying to attack this, they're hitting this for 7 or whatever. I have 16 2Ks in the deck, so that's easy to cover. Swinging 8, again, I have 16 2Ks and the rest of my deck is 1Ks. Very strong. Something else that might be a little bit different than other lists is I'm running only, or at the time I was only running 2 3000 worlds. I know a lot of people are saying that blue is very good at controlling board, but I feel like taking the turn off to punish their board or try to alleviate some pressure is kind of what loses me games sometimes. So I actually only had it at 2. I do want to play it at 3, because I would rather draw this than Sanji's Peel Off. I am playing this at 2 because I actually want to trigger it out of life. That was the main thing. But yeah, other than that, I feel like it's a fairly standard list. Maybe 16 2Ks isn't everybody's idea on how to play this deck, but I think it worked fantastic yesterday. And as you'll see in my matches against Peter, that it worked out really well. Shout out to Peter, by the way, very good player. Playing Big Mom for the first time, and he was tearing it up. But yeah, we can go right into the match. Alright, so I won the die roll and I made Peter go first. He grabs 1 Dawn, plays nothing, passes turn to me, and I pass back. So Peter's on turn 3 here, thinking about what he wants to do. Could swing 6, but he chooses to swing 5, we take that. Even though he could easily counter out of it, we don't need to over counter, especially early against yellow, because it's just going to get trashed anyways. Might as well add the cards to your hand. So we're going to go 5 at lead, he takes it. So we call the homie hit, but he gets the Brule. Not very homie-like if you ask me. And this is kind of what I was talking about with the game plan with the Pacifista engine. You actually want to play your 4 cost before you play Centimaro. Swing 6 at lead, plays Charlotte Opera, passes turn. Alright. And the sequencing here is really important. So we go 6 because he could have a Thunderbolt. You don't want to go low to high here. He gets another trig. When we swing 5 at leader. Thinking, goes up to 6 by Trash and Cracker. Play the Centimaro. Tap 2 for Centimaro's ability. Boom, we get another Pacifista down. So real quick, like, the best thing about this deck is just being able to get the instant value out of Centimaro. Because now, especially in the yellow matchup, they can't remove both the Centimaro and both my Pacifistas. And even if he tries to, he's not going to rip that many cards from my hand. And that's another reason why I take life early, is because I want it to feel like an impossible task, essentially. So he's on Dawn 7 this turn. He's also at 3 life, which means he gets to use Big Mom's ability. He's going to swing 7 at Pacifista, trigger the ability, adds the top card of his hand, or of his life to his hand, place another card on top, and we counter out with 7. on the Pacifista. He swings another 7 on the Pacifista. We just let it die because we know we're going to be able to get another one next turn. And we also want to add more cards to our hand, as opposed to minusing. Draw for turn, we're going up to 8. Attach 1 to Cento, swing 5 at leader. So he counters out with a 2k, go another 5 at leader. He obviously wants to protect his life here, so I'm not worrying about him taking a life. So he actually blocks with the Brule. We go 6 at leader, he takes that one. Shirahoshi trig, draw 3, trash 2. So he actually draws a Thunderbolt here, but at 2 life, that's really tough to be able to play that comfortably. So he trashes it, and then he trashes the Pudding. We use Centaur's ability, grab another Pacifista. And here, even though I know I only have 1 left in deck, we're kind of just trying to calc our life and see what we're going to get out of it and kind of play around that. And that's another advantage to playing Centaur. And we finish our turn by paying 4 down for Kuma and passing. So Peter's at 2 life. I believe I'm currently at 3 because he was trying to focus board a little bit too much. Thinking about what he wants to do. He's on turn 9, and normally this would be where this would be where you play Katakuri, or swing for 6 at something, play Katakuri. Let's see. Going to attach 2 Dawn to his leader, swing 7 at the Pacifista, I believe. And I just choose to block and play out the other Pacifista. Because if I'm gonna -1 card anyways, I might as well just, not reveal how many 2Ks I have. He actually swings 4 at Centaur, and here he gets punished a little bit. We go +1. And then he's gonna swing 6 at Centaur, and that's good. Swings 8. Pacifista goes down, other Pacifista goes down, but we have 2 more on board. So now we're at 10 Dawn. I think what we end up doing here is cleaning up board a little bit. Just because we are in a huge commanding position, so we go 6 at the Opera, he goes 1k, and we go 6 at leader, 6 at leader again, and we're really just ripping his hand apart. We Mihawk bottom deck the Opera, and then we use leader ability -4 to bounce the Pedo. Give him 1 card with no counter in his hand. He's at 10 Dawn. If he were to play Big Mom here, that might be a good way to try to get back into the game. But judging by the way he swung with Shirahoshi, I don't think he does, and this proves it right here. He's swinging 7 at the Pacifista, adds a top card. I just counter out a 2k early. I know he has to put 1 back, or I don't think he has to, but yeah. Puts 1 back on top. That's good. And he really doesn't have anything else to swing with. The only thing he'd be able to do here is Thunderbolt, but he trashed it earlier, and Katakuri finally comes down. He's making the hard decision here. But he wants to kind of alleviate the pressure that I'm creating here with the Pacifistas, so that's the choice he ends up making. But he was considering putting the Shirahoshi back in life, and what you call it? He's considering healing the Shirahoshi, but he gets rid of the Pacifista, healing me instead, which is very rough for him. Because I'm not only am I in a commanding position due to my board, but now I'm way ahead in life. So we swing 7 at leader. I noticed he dropped 2 2Ks earlier. I don't know how willing he is to drop more, so he's considering taking the life here. blocks with Brule, the 6-set lead. Just a lot of checks, seeing how many 2Ks he has. He only has 2 cards in hand, so I know he has to take the 9, pay 4 for Boa, and pass, leaving 2 up. Pays 1 for the pudding. He could have added Thunderbolt there to try to clear the blocker, but decides to add the Big Mom. Because I could mess up here. I could make a mistake, but trying to bank on me making a mistake here is definitely, you know, it's not the best idea. I do have 2 up, I have 3 cards in hand. It's very hard for me to make a mistake. But also, if he Thunderbolted, he wouldn't have any life left, and he would for sure lose. So understandably, he's trying to play for the 10-drop. Goes 6 at the Pacifista, and then he's just considering his options here. So he actually considering swinging 9 at Mihawk, but he swings 11, so I level it out, draw another card, and then he has 2 Dawn left over, and he's considering what he wants to swing at. He's just asking, did I swing 6 at Pacifista? And I was like, yes. I countered out with a 1K. He's like, oh, okay. Just double checking. Again, just really considering his options here. Swings 10 at Mihawk, we have the 2K. We counter out. Passes turn, and he just says GG there. So that's the first game we played. That's the game that won me the tournament, because my boy Mark, we played the first round and I had won, and then the only other undefeated had lost to my boy. So the tournament actually ended here at this moment.